Today, let's review the multiplication properties of exponents, the product of powers property. The product of two powers with the same base equals that base raised to the sum of the exponents. Take note that the base should be any non-zero real number, while the exponents of the base could be any integer. Now, let us expand and learn more about this through our examples. Here are the examples. In our first example, we have 2 times 2 squared. The first thing that we are going to do is to copy the same base, which is 2. So we now have 2 to the power of. The next thing that we are going to do is add the exponents. As you can see, the first base doesn't have an exponent. Take note that any number or variable which doesn't have an exponent actually has an exponent of 1. So we now have 2 to the power of 1. So 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. So our final answer is 2 to the power of 3. And now we have 5 cubed times 5. So again, we are going to copy the same base, which is 5. The second base doesn't have an exponent, but it actually has an exponent of 1. So 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. So our final answer for the second example is equal to 5 to the power of 4. Now we have a cubed times a squared. As you can see, instead of base numbers, they are base variables. But it's still easy. Copy the same base, which is the letter A. And 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. So our final answer for the third example is A to the power of 5. Now we have b squared times b squared times b squared. The common base is b. Next, we are going to add the exponents. So now we have 2 plus 2 plus 2. And 2 plus 2 plus 2 is equal to 6. So for our final answer for the fourth example, we have b to the power of 6. In these examples, the first thing that we are going to do is to group the powers with the same base. For our fifth example, we have m to the power of 4 times 3m. For our first group, we have 3. Because remember that the coefficient always comes before the variable. And for the next group, we have m to the power of 4 plus 1. Now, let us simplify. We have 3 and m to the power of 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. So our answer is 3 and m to the power of 5. For our next example, we have 4cd to the power of 3 times 2c squared and d to the power of 3. So for our first group, we have 4 times 2. And next, we have the base c and the base d. So the exponents for our base c is 1 plus 2. And the exponents for base d are 3 plus 3. Now, let us simplify. 4 times 2 is equal to 8. And c to the power of 1 plus 2 is 3. And d to the power of 3 plus 3 is 6. So our final answer is a and c cubed and d to the power of 6. Next, we have 6n squared times 6n cubed and p to the power of 4. For our first group, we will have 6 times 6. For our next group, we have the base n. And for our last group, we will have the base p. The exponents of our base n are 2 plus 3. And the exponent for our base p is 4. Now let us simplify. We now have 6 times 6 is 36. And n, 2 plus 3 is 5. So n to the power of 5. And p to the power of 4. So our answer for example number 7 is 36 and n to the power of 5 and p to the power of 4. For our last example, we have 7s cubed times 10t cubed s to the power of 5 times 8ds cubed. Now we have 7 times 10 times 8. For our next group, we have the base s. And for the last group, we have the base t. And the exponent for our base s are 3 plus 5 plus 3. And the exponents for our base t are 3 plus 1. Let us now simplify. 7 times 10 times 8 is equal to 560. And 3 plus 5 plus 3 is equal to 11. So we have s to the power of 11. And we have t to the power of 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. So our final answer is 560 and s to the power of 11 and t to the power of 4. That is all for today. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.